churlish as adjective, rude and boorish in behavior or manners, characterized by a lack of civility or graciousness. His churlish behavior towards his co-workers made it difficult for him to work effectively in a team. The customer's churlish demeanor towards the waiter caused tension in the restaurant. The politician's churlish remarks were criticized for being unprofessional and offensive. The child's churlish refusal to share her toys upset the other children at the daycare. The athlete's churlish attitude towards the referees resulted in several penalties. Ascetic as noun refers to a person who practices self-discipline, self-denial, and self-control, typically for spiritual or moral improvement. The religious order was known for its ascetics, who took vows of poverty and self-denial. The ascetic spent years living in isolation in the mountains, seeking enlightenment. The ascetic's teachings emphasized the value of simplicity and renunciation of material pleasures. The ascetic's self-discipline and devotion to his spiritual practice inspired many followers. The ascetic's extreme fasting and self-mortification were viewed by some as a form of religious fanaticism. Maudlin as adjective, overly sentimental or weepy, especially in a way that is considered insincere or exaggerated. He became maudlin after a few drinks and started crying about his lost love. The maudlin tone of the song brought back memories of a sad time in her life. She always becomes maudlin on her birthday, reminiscing about the past. The book's maudlin ending left readers feeling unsatisfied. The maudlin movie made everyone in the theater cry. Proponent as noun, an individual who speaks or acts in favor of a particular proposal, policy, or legislation. She was a strong proponent of the new tax plan. The senator was a vocal proponent of gun control. He is a proponent of alternative medicine. The company was a leading proponent of clean energy. Many environmentalists are proponents of recycling. Aesthetic as adjective, a set of personal tastes and preferences that determine one's choice and evaluation of what is beautiful or attractive. The restaurant had an aesthetic decor, with warm lighting, rustic wood furnishings, and charming vintage accents. She has an aesthetic eye for fashion, carefully selecting clothing and accessories that complement her personal style. They create aesthetic content for social media, using filters, lighting, and editing techniques to make their posts visually appealing. He has an aesthetic approach to design, creating products that are not only functional but also beautiful and pleasing to the eye. She has an aesthetic appreciation for nature, frequently going on hikes and taking photos of breathtaking landscapes.
Enormity as noun, extreme wickedness or cruelty, great size or extent. The enormity of the task ahead of them was daunting. It was difficult to comprehend the enormity of the disaster. The enormity of the loss was felt by everyone who knew her. The enormity of the situation began to sink in. He was shocked by the enormity of the crime committed.
Impertinent as adjective, not relevant or appropriate to the subject or matter at hand, beside the point. Rude or disrespectful in speech or behavior. The student's impertinent behavior in class led to his suspension. The journalist's impertinent questions offended the interviewee. The employee's impertinent remarks to the boss resulted in her termination. The politician's impertinent comments about the opposition caused a backlash. The customer's impertinent behavior towards the staff led to his expulsion from the store.
Gerrymander as verb, divide a political area in a biased manner, redraw political boundaries for political advantage. The ruling party gerrymandered the electoral boundaries to ensure they would win the next election. The school district was accused of gerrymandering to keep certain students out of certain schools. The politicians were criticized for gerrymandering the districts in a way that would benefit them and their party. The group of citizens sued the government for gerrymandering the voting districts and infringing on their right to fair representation. The practice of gerrymandering is controversial and has been the subject of much debate and legal action.
Belittle as verb. To make someone or something appear less important or valuable than they really are. To speak of or treat someone or something in a dismissive or contemptuous manner. She belittled his achievements, claiming that they were nothing compared to hers and that he had not really accomplished much. He belittled her intelligence, making fun of her ideas and opinions and treating her like she was inferior to him. The coach belittled the team, yelling at them and insulting their performance in front of the other players and coaches. She belittled his feelings, telling him that he was being overly sensitive and that he needed to toughen up and stop complaining. He belittled the importance of the project, claiming that it was a waste of time and resources and that it would not make a significant difference in the long run.
Clemency is noun. It can also refer to a mild or lenient punishment. It can also refer to the act of showing mercy or leniency. The prisoner begged for clemency, but the judge was not swayed and handed down the maximum sentence. The governor granted clemency to the convicted criminal and reduced his sentence. The employee was fired, but he appealed to his boss for clemency and was allowed to keep his job. The charitable organization showed clemency toward the homeless man and gave him food and shelter. The criminal sought clemency from the victim's family and asked for their forgiveness.
Inviolable is adjective. Sacred and not to be violated or infringed. Secure from violation or profanation. Inviolate. The athlete's privacy should be considered inviolable, even in the midst of intense media scrutiny. The right to a fair trial is an inviolable principle in democratic societies. In many cultures, the bond between a mother and child is considered inviolable and must never be broken. The museum staff take great care to ensure the inviolable preservation of priceless works of art. Some religious traditions believe that certain holy texts are inviolable and must never be altered or questioned. Savvy is adjective. Knowledgeable, experienced, or well-informed, often implying a shrewdness or astuteness in dealing with things. Possessing practical knowledge, understanding, or common sense, especially in a specific area or situation. He was a savvy investor, always making informed decisions. Her savvy understanding of the market trends led to profitable ventures. The savvy entrepreneur knew how to capitalize on emerging opportunities. The team's savvy approach to problem-solving improved overall efficiency. His tech-savvy nature made him the go-to person for IT-related issues. Anathema as noun. A formal ecclesiastical curse invoking excommunication. A thing or person that one vehemently dislikes. Racism is anathema to a just and inclusive society. In many cultures, eating pork is considered anathema due to religious beliefs. In the scientific community, plagiarism is considered anathema due to its violation of ethical standards. For some people, the idea of working in a cubicle all day is anathema to their sense of freedom and creativity. In certain political circles, compromise is seen as anathema to one's principles. Lugubrious as adjective. Despondently or excessively mournful. Excessively or affectedly sad. Excessively sad, mournful, or gloomy, causing or expressing sorrow. The lugubrious music made me feel sad. The old, abandoned mansion had a lugubrious atmosphere. The man's lugubrious face suggested he had suffered great loss. The rain and gray sky created a lugubrious mood. The professor gave a lugubrious lecture about the state of the world. Veracious as adjective, conforming to facts or reality, not false or imaginary, speaking or representing the truth, truthful or accurate. The journalist's veracious reporting won her a Pulitzer Prize. His veracious memory made him a valuable witness in the trial. The scientist's veracious research contributed to a major breakthrough in the field. The historian's veracious account of the event was highly regarded by scholars. The detective's veracious testimony helped secure a conviction in the case. Begrudge as verb. To feel envy or jealousy towards someone who has something that one desires. To resent having to give or allow something to someone else. He begrudged his friend's success and couldn't help feeling envious and resentful towards him. She begrudged every penny she spent on the expensive meal and felt guilty for indulging in such a lavish experience. The boss begrudged giving his employees a pay raise, believing that they were already being paid enough. He begrudged the time he spent with his family, feeling like it was taking away from his work and personal goals. She begrudged the fact that her sister always got more attention and praise from their parents. Compound as noun. A mixture of two or more substances. A substance made up of two or more chemical elements that are chemically bonded together. The chemist analyzed the compound to determine its properties. The runner suffered a compound fracture in his leg. The resort has several different swimming pools, including a large compound for lap swimming. The company's financial reports show that it holds a diverse compound of investments. The archaeologist uncovered a mysterious compound of ancient buildings at the dig site. Treacherous as adjective. Dangerous or hazardous, especially due to hidden or unpredictable dangers. Deceptive, dishonest, or untrustworthy. The sea was treacherous, with high waves and strong currents. The spy's behavior was treacherous, betraying his own country for personal gain. The mountain path was treacherous due to the snow and ice. The businessman's dealings were treacherous and unethical. The politician's promises were treacherous and deceptive.
Enjoin as verb. To instruct or advise someone to do something. To urge or implore someone to take a particular course of action. The judge enjoined the company from using the stolen technology in its products. The doctor enjoined the patient from eating any solid food until after the surgery. The religious leader enjoined his followers to practice compassion and kindness towards others. The court enjoined the union from staging a strike during the busy holiday season. The teacher enjoined the students to read widely and critically in order to develop their writing skills. Corollary as noun. A logical consequence or an inference drawn from a main proposition. A proposition that follows naturally from a proven statement. One corollary of the new law was an increase in taxes for businesses. A lack of exercise is a corollary of a sedentary lifestyle. The corollary of increased competition in the market was a decrease in prices for consumers. The principle of supply and demand is a corollary of the free market economy. The corollary to the rise in popularity of e-books has been a decline in sales of printed books.
Ready to boost your English or ace the GRE? Meet the GRE Vocabulary app, a fun and effective way to master language. Learn advanced words with examples and audio. Master idioms, proverbs, and phrasal verbs. Enjoy quizzes, flashcards, and pronunciation tests. Customize your practice by difficulty or focus. Translate into 100+ languages with ease. Did you learn new words? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my channel. Download now and start your journey to vocabulary mastery.